Well, Coach Dave has already come out and said, "Hi, my name is Coach D. I'm an abused child of the NFL. Correction, I'm an abused fan of the New York Football Giants." Goat Riddler Green Thumb says, "No, Dart is not Josh Allen. 100%. You nailed that. You come out strong. I don't even know who you are, Riddled Green Thumbs. I don't remember seeing your name in the chat because I think I remember that one. But you come out swinging and talking truth. People are always saying to me, Tim, you keep saying that the Giants should do this and the Giants should do that, but you don't tell us what the Giants should do." Well, to all those motherfuckers, have a cup of coffee. Don't cost nothing. I'm going to tell you exactly what the Giants should do. I am going to break down ad nauseum the online Big Blue New York Giants straight talk plan for fixing the New York Football Giants. Yes, I know, because John Mara has sat there.
Let's see what we can fuck with next.
And has fucked with this team since that Super Bowl run in 2011. 2 playoff appearances, 1 playoff win. Oh, I'm seeing people's names I don't remember. Life at full speed. I hope I don't hear a trade Dart and get Mendoza comment. Well, you're going to hear it. You're not only going to hear it, I am going to break down, and I have been breaking this down ad nauseum before Mendoza won that big game. Because Mendoza, what's up, my brother Lester? How you doing? Mendoza runs a pro-style offense. Mendoza understands that he is an underdog. He is a guy that, but I'm not going to get into Mendoza first. We're going to go step 1 of my plan. It's a difficult plan. It's got many pieces, this plan. We don't like it, we can change a part. No, we're not. Step 1, we can have lots of fun. You fire Joe Schoen. Easier said than done because the Giants are stupid. You fire Joe Schoen, you send him packing on his merry way, just to know if we all of a sudden cut out, we have like 50-mile-an-hour winds here. So where I live in the middle of nowhere, when you lose power, you lose power. And my Generac, my Generac is turned on, but it's not running the stuff down in my office. So you fire Joe Schoen, you send him on his merry fucking way. You say, Joe, don't let the door split you where the good Lord hit you. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. That's what you do. You get rid of him. You don't even think about it. You fire his ass. You don't bring in Brandon Brown. You do not bring in Brandon Brown whatsoever. No. Because while he is a Joe Schoen hire and a Howie disciple, no, I don't want any more of the stench of this regime anywhere in the building, and that's going to be the sacrificial lamb of Mr. Brown. Remember when I did a whole video a couple years back saying I would take Ryan Poles and Mike McCarthy? Boy, sure glad we didn't go that direction because Dallas only had 3 12-win seasons. You don't want to talk about the playoffs, but he did win 36 games in 3 years. He was 36-15 in 3 years. Giant fans would cream themselves for that. But you go out and you find a competent general manager, a NFL GM that has some experience, a guy that understands the NFL, who can build this franchise back up from the ground up. Because we've been building this franchise from the ground up forever. And I keep hearing, you know what? We need to find that guy. We need to go out and get this. We need to go out and get this guy that no one's, we got to go out and get this no-name guy. If you're not going to go the route of the general manager that has experience, if you're going to go a different direction, I'm going to give you a name. I'm actually going to give you 3 names. 3 names. One of them is, don't forget, Online Big Blue, New York Giants Straight Talk, brought to you by the Mighty FanDuel. This show is sponsored by the Mighty FanDuel, FanDuel.com. But I'm going to give you 3 names. And he interviewed for the Titans and Jets jobs last year. He went to the final stages of the process in Tennessee. And I bet Tennessee's sitting there going, "Oh, I wish we took this motherfucker." That's John Eric Sullivan, Green Bay Packer Vice President of Player Personnel. The Packer team has been built through the draft. The Packer team has been built through a methodical organizational thought process. This is a guy that also went to the University of South Carolina. This is a guy that understands football. He has been with the Green Bay Packers since 2003. He was a training camp intern in 2003. He was the football operations department employee, he was the Central Plains scouting region guy. He was a Southeast region scout. He was then the director of college scouting. He was then the co-director of player personnel. And then since 2022, he's been the vice president of player personnel. This is a guy that has been a scout. This is a guy that's been not only a scout for the country and led the scouting part, he's been a regional scout. So his job has been to bring in talent to the Green Bay Packer organization. And that's all the Green Bay Packers have done for years, is find talent, to keep talent, cultivate talent, build talent. This is a team that, if you go back in its history for the last, let's if you go, this is what I love about the Green Bay Packers, and everyone's going to say it's Aaron Rodgers, but let's just go from 2009, 11-5, 10-6, 15-1, 11-5, 8-7, 12-4, 10-6, 10-6, 7-9, 6-10, 13-3, 13-3, 13-4, 8-9, 8-10, 11-6, 9-4. They've had 3 losing seasons since this guy has been there, going back to 2009. So evidently he's been doing something right. And I'm going to say this name again, John Eric Sullivan. He was in the final job for the Tennessee Titans. He got an interview with the Raiders, and he also interviewed with the Jets. Would he leave Green Bay? I think he would leave Green Bay. This is a guy that started as a scout, not like fucking Joe Shane. This guy was a regional scout and established himself. I know I said just me. I'm saying if there's not a competent general manager available, we need a guy that is a general manager, understands, wait for it, scouting, understands how to find talent. Because no one in that fucking building on Giants Drive gets that shit. They don't fucking get it. Bring him in, because honestly, unless you are going to give full control to a quality general manager who has a track record, they're not going to want to be sat. You cannot sit there to a general manager and go, "Hey, yeah, you know what we want to do? You're the general manager of the team, but you have to be a general manager of the team around Jackson Dart." No. And that gets me into step 2. I don't think the Giants are going to win another game. I do not think the Giants are going to win another game at all. I think we're going to, because I've said this before, this is the Giant way. You go into a quarterback draft, you go into a draft last year, which is not quarterback heavy outside of the first pick. And then you trade back up into the first round for a guy you could have had in the second, knowing damn well there was 3 to 5 guys coming out in 26 that are probably better prospects than Jackson Dart. That's Mendoza, that's Moore, and that's Simpson. To me, they are all better. Even after seeing what Jackson Dart can do for a year. We've said this before. Jackson Dart cannot matriculate the ball beyond 8.5 yards. We've shown all the charts. You look at Jackson Dart's charts. You see he's great between -2 and 10. As soon as he goes past 10, like this game, he was 1 for 7. And again, his whole game plan was predicated on he was great. between -2 and 10. But then as soon as you go past 10, he only completes 3 passes. And he misfires on 6. This is all his charts. And we pulled up all of his charts ad nauseum. You could talk about his creativity. You could talk about, but all this creativity is wonderful. I've said this before, and I'm not trying to be offensive. He is a 1980s black quarterback. All the things that they said about black quarterbacks in the 80s. They're not smart enough to run a game plan. All they do is run. All they do is improvise. They do nothing with inside an NFL game plan, and they cannot learn an NFL game plan. Look at all the quarterbacks that were stars in college. Tommy Frazier, of course, was a star, but he had the vascular issue, but which was healed, which was fine. Charlie Ward. There is a lineage of quarterbacks from the 80s and 90s, black quarterbacks, who were told they're not smart enough because all they did is improvise and didn't play within a game plan. Fast forward to 2025, we have that in Jackson Dart. You want to talk about the drops? Fine. Every NFL team deals with drops. A drop should not be the precursor to the other 35 throws that you did. Mendoza runs a pro-style offense at Indiana. You can literally go and watch Mendoza and say, that's what you would do in the NFL. He is a 6'5" pocket passer who has mobility. Everyone disparages, and it's funny. It's the fans that disparage him for his arm strength. I've talked to scouts that said this guy's got this guy has more than an NFL arm. Go look at Cal. Don't look at exactly what they did all the time in Indiana. But he has mobility. He has the size. He stays in the pocket. And if you want to scout him right now at Indiana, you could easily go watch his film and say, okay, that will translate into the NFL. You watch Lane Kiffin's quarterbacks, and Lane Kiffin's biggest success as a quarterback. Yes, I mean I don't shy away from racism here. We talk about this. Yes, I mean the stereotypical 80s, 90s black quarterback that they are not smart enough to run an NFL offense, but that's what Jackson Dart is now. But it's okay. You go back to Doug Williams back in 79. You go back to Warren Moon, who had to fucking go to the CFL. You have to look at all these guys. You have to go back to Vince Evans. These guys were told all they can do is improvise and do other things. Tommy Frazier was one that I always bring up. I always bring up Tommy Frazier. Tommy Frazier is not smart enough. Tommy Frazier can't do the job. Charlie Ward was told the same thing. Charlie Ward was told the same thing. He said, fuck it, I'm going to the Knicks. Well, he didn't say fuck it, I'm going. He says, fuck it, I'm going to the NBA. But these were all the players that were told these things. But when we watch Jackson Dart do it, it's mesmerizing. No, these were all the things that we talked about that you should and should not do to run an NFL offense. He is beyond underrated, Warren Moon. Jay Sports goes, hey, Tim, want to see me throw a javelin? You probably throw it better than Jackson Dart. So get the motherfucker out of here. Knock, knock, not you. You're fucking gone. Big Blue for Life says, what's up, Big Blue for Life? So Dart has lost to Rattler, Mac Jones, Mariota, and those aren't even the good ones. I love it because we got another one from the bad dog.
Stupid giant Twitter posts.
What he basically said, Jackson Dart is our man. Just look at, if anyone that wants to get rid of Mendoza, you're crazy. Jackson Dart is the man. Bad dog, I love you, brother, but how the fuck can I trust you for anything? For 6 years, you sucked at the cock of Daniel Jones and told people Jalen Hurts sucks, but Jalen Hurts went to 2 Super Bowls. His 2 best games of his entire career were in Super Bowls, and he's got one of these. So how am I supposed to take this one from people like that? And you're right. He's lost to Spencer Rattler, who got benched, Mac fucking Jones, and Marcus Mariota, who I think is 497 years old. Dan, you said it best right here. Dart is just so dumb. Yes, let me run and not protect myself. Yeah, because that's what the black quarterback in the 80s and 90s was told that's all they could do. But now we laud this and say, oh, Jackson Dart, greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't fucking see it. I said the same thing after Daniel Jones' rookie season. I don't know what everyone's creaming themselves about.
That's what she said.
I don't fucking see it. And people will be like, well, look how he's doing it. Look what he did in Indianapolis. Yeah, okay. Well, you want to talk about the Indianapolis? As soon as he started playing good teams and they started stifling Jonathan Taylor, here comes the interceptions. Here comes the fumbles. Here comes the injury. People need to just stuff it. You figured Josh Rosen got, I think it was a 2 and a 5 for Josh Rosen. Here's my other thing also about Mendoza. If I have the first overall pick, I can't trade him to the Jets. Dear fucking Lord. What if you trade him to the Jets, Jackson Dart flames out, and Mendoza becomes a superstar? And I love when people are like, well, no one's going to care about that draft pick if Jackson Dart hits. What if Jackson Dart doesn't hit? What if he lives here? Because we know he likes to go in there. 10 games he's been analyzed for 5 concussions. And I love it because people are like, well, that's just the NFL being cautious. No, my friends. There's an independent physician or physicians in the skybox looking down at certain plays on the field. It's not about them being overprotective. It's about the fact that, of course, thank you for the super chat, my friend. It's the fact that what does Dan Wolf have to say on the super chat? Gonna be honest, I only started to watch the Giants because I thought Dart was kind of a fun. I'm a Bills, Broncos, Lions fan, but oof, ever since Cam went down, Dart's been worse. And if we're going to be honest, Dart threw Malik Neighbors into a knee injury. We've talked about it before. Do we want to watch him doing it again? Let's watch it. Let's watch it for Dan. Problem. We don't have that issue. Same thing. You throw it to the inside of Cam Scatterbo, not the outside. You don't get the hip drop tackle, which it wasn't hip drop tackle, and he doesn't tear up his ankle. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. You trade his ass. If someone's dumb enough to give you a 2 and a 5 for Jackson Dart, I'm smiling my way all the way to the motherfucking bank. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. So I got my GM. I've traded Jackson Dart. I've traded Jackson Dart to the fucking Raiders. Oh, I know you're agreeing with me. I just want to show the video. I know you agree with me. I just want to show brother. I just want to show you the video. I can do with that 100%. I just like showing that video. It shows how smart I am. You trade him to the motherfucker. I'm trading Jackson Dart to the Raiders. I'm getting a 2 and 5 from the Raiders. I'm then, hold on. Let's make sure the Raiders have a 2 and a 5. Hold on. Let me see what the draft picks are for the Raiders in 2026. Hold on. Everyone just hold on a second. Where are the Raiders picks in 2026? All right. They have, okay. The Raiders only have, okay. The Raiders are, okay. So I'm going to get the 33rd pick right now. And I'm going to get, they got, you know what? The Raiders have 2 4s. I'm trading Jackson Dart for a 2 and a 4. I want the Raiders 33rd pick. They have 3 4th rounders. I want the Raiders 33rd pick, and I want the Raiders 102nd pick. And if you want to throw in 187 in the 6th round, I'm going to take that as well. So I got my general manager from Green Bay. I've traded Jackson Dart over to the Raiders. What am I doing next? I think we all know what we're doing next. I'm going out, and I am getting Mendoza. I am going out and getting Fernando Mendoza. I've watched all the film in Indiana. Not really much to scout. You're going to still have to scout him, but I've watched all the film at Indiana. I see a 6'5", prototypical NFL pocket passing quarterback who can move and has the ability to facilitate outside the pocket while he's still looking downfield. One thing I will say about Shedeur Sanders is this, and I said this before. You watch that game against the Bears, that man took a fucking beating. But he hung in the pocket. He hung in the pocket ad nauseum. I was like, motherfucker, it's okay to move. It's okay to not completely always look downfield. It was amazing. And then I watched Jackson Dart. He's like he senses a little tiny bit of pressure. He's like, oh, I'm out of here, motherfuckers. Let me see where is Cleveland? What's Cleveland's draft order right now? Let me see what their updated draft order is right now. Let's see. Cleveland. Let's see what are Cleveland's picks right now. Draft picks. Let me pull up Cleveland's picks here. Let me see where they're at here. Let's see their draft order. Let me go to draftthebuzz.com. All right. Cleveland takes 4th, 27th, 40th. No, I'm taking the Raiders. Well, Cleveland actually has 2 first rounders. They have the 27th. Okay, I can move Dart to Cleveland. I will take the 27th, and I will take the 27th and the 106 from Cleveland. If I can't ship his ass to Vegas, I'm taking the 27th and the 106. And then I'm pulling out and I'm going Mendoza. No, life at full speed. You are a fucking moron. Let's watch it again. Play. You put it 5 yards in front of the wide receiver. You don't throw it short. You had a clean, open pocket with your javelin fucking throw, and that's what you're going to do? No. Life at full speed. I think you need to go watch Chode Sports, because evidently you are not intelligent enough to watch this show. And I'm not trying to be mean about that, but you seem to be a fucking moron. No, it's not being a fucking moron. Going over to the mighty FanDuel, FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in America. Download the app. I love FanDuel. New customers bet $5, you get $250 in bonus bets if you win. You also have the casino games. You got the sport book. You got fantasy. You got racing. You got FanDuel TV. I joined the sports book immediately when I started dealing and working with FanDuel. I was like, let me join the sports book because I need to have complete accessibility to the mighty FanDuel, which I do. Let's check the New York Football Giants. They were 2.5-point dogs to the Minnesota Vikings at home, which I thought was a little low. Giants are still 2.5-point home dogs to the Minnesota Vikings. I still think that's low. I think the Giants are going to lose by 25. Giants might lose by a little bit. Here's a good parlay. Here's a good 4-leg parlay. Alabama money line, Miami, Florida money line, Ole Miss money line, and then Jake Paul. If you bet $10 wager on this, you're going to win $450. 5,602 people have placed that bet on the mighty FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com, #1 sports book in America. Don't forget to bet responsibly. So I got my general manager. I got additional assets. And now I have Fernando Mendoza. I love it. You must have an agenda against the kid. You know, full speed. I didn't say full speed. I do want to apologize. I did not say you were a moron. I said you are a fucking moron. Quote me correctly. You are an ignoramus, and a fucking moron. If you're going to quote me right.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
He's going in timeout. I got a new sauna in the house. We have a new sponsor coming on board, and they do sauna in a box. I'm not going to talk about it yet because I'm going to talk about it the next week. We've got a new sponsor. And also, they're going to put a cedar sauna in the house. But I got the sauna in the box. And the sauna in the box is great. I do my workout in my gym. Now I go sit in the sauna for 35 minutes, and I love it. I got to admit, I fucking love it. Oh, all right. So now I have my general manager. I've traded Dart. I've gotten assets. And I have Mendoza. Here's my deal. OGR Sports, I want to point out about the concussion. Sometimes you don't show symptoms right away. Sometimes it happens days or even weeks after. Thank you for the super chat. All super chats go to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. As someone that has had 11 known concussions since high school, 11 I've had, and I feel fine. And I feel fine. And I feel fine. Okay, we're all good. You're right. And I love it when people blasted Malik Neighbors for going to the concert. Yes, light sensitivity and sound sensitivity is a symptom of a concussion, but not everyone has the same symptoms. To OGR's point, you can have a concussion and not feel the effects for weeks. You could months later start feeling the effects of a concussion, and your symptoms are going to be different than other people. When you're evaluated 5 times in 10 games, and you refuse to protect yourself, like Life at Full Speed, Double D. You know, how many times he's seen Double D's as his moms. Glad I'm not mean. You never know. It's one of those things. So why do I want to have a kid that doesn't want to refuses to protect himself, doesn't want to go in the fucking tent? But thank you, OGR. So now I got my GM. Got rid of him. Got assets. Got this. And yeah, you know what? I wanted this move 4 years ago. I want Mike McCarthy. I have a young building team that needs a head coach, needs a direction, needs an offensive-minded head coach who has won in this league. Who has a 185 and 123-2 record. Yeah, he's 11-11 in the postseason, but he's got a winning record. He is a guy that has been to the big dance. He's a guy that's done it all. I've said this before. If you look, he was 125 and 77 in Green Bay. 13-3, 6 and 9, 11 and 5, 10 and 6, 15 and 1, 11 and 5, 8 and 7, 12 and 4, 10 and 6, 10 and 6. And then he goes to Dallas. He has that 6 and 10 season. Then he's got 3 seasons in a row where he's 12 and 5. Yes, he lost in the wild card game. Yes, he lost in divisionals. And lastly, lost in the wild card game again. But can you imagine the Giants having a 49 and 33 record since 2020? We would go fucking crazy. We would go insane. This is a guy that made Aaron Rodgers into a quarterback. This is a guy that put Dak Prescott on a different level. This is that guy. This is the guy that has done so much in this league that it's unbelievable. He is a guy that you may hate him. You may hate him from Dallas. You may hate him from all these things. But he turned the career of helped turn the career around of Rich Gannon. This is a guy that knows how to work with young quarterbacks. He is a guy that will build an offensive philosophy around Fernando Mendoza, a vertical, I'm going to say it again for the cheap seats, a vertical fucking offense. So we are not sitting here and running Johnny Dink and Dunk. Look at all those passes between -2 and 9 yards. That is your entire offense. And this is just recent games. It's okay. This is one of his most recent. This is his game against New England. It's okay to throw the ball past 10 yards. And it's okay to complete some passes. I want a vertical style offense, which will open up the running game, make it a little bit easier for your pass blockers. Because like I said, so many offensive linemen have said the worst quarterback to block for is a scrambling quarterback because you never know where the fuck they are. You cannot live off improv. You can't. In the NFL, you cannot live off improv. You have to be within a system. And the Lane Kiffin system in college has produced the best NFL quarterback they have produced is Matt Barkley. Statistically. Why? Lane Kiffin is a short, single read offense that's usually cut half the field. Your quarterback's not allowed to audible. And your second option is to run. That's what Lane Kiffin does. That's what he's always done through college. That's why his quarterbacks do not succeed in the NFL. No, I'm not kidding. Yes, why would we want to bring in a head coach that is 174 and 112, who was 49-35 for the Cowboys, 125-77, and has won a Super Bowl? Why would we want to do that? And I love what people are like, well, they can't win the big game. That's what they said about Peyton Manning. Hell, that's what they said about Tom Coughlin. He's won the big game. He's got a ring. How many rings have the current Giant head coaches had, I should say, between Pat Shurmur, Brian Dable, and all the other idiots we have brought in? How many? Just curious. Why would we want a coach with a pedigree? Why would we want a coach that has a history of working with young quarterbacks? Well, that's just fucking crazy. No, I'd rather get a guy, another assistant, because all these assistants we get fucking work out. I'd rather get another assistant to come in here and screw with and once again flame out within 2 years. Consistency and continuity. That's what the New York Football Giants need. And we need someone that has the ability and the understanding of how to cultivate and work with and build a young quarterback. He helped make Aaron Rodgers. He helped elevate Dak Prescott to a different level. And we don't want him here? Yeah, because we might win some fucking games. Let's get to the chat. Let's give them something to talk about. Dart is not Allen. No, he's not. Josh Allen was a big arm quarterback coming out of Wyoming. Josh Allen's biggest issue people had with him was his accuracy. But he was a big, tough running quarterback who understands. And he learned and he cultivated into Josh Allen's fucking 6'5", 240 pounds. He's no longer a running quarterback. Yeah, he's got 4,600 yards rushing, but Josh Allen's has now understood, you know what? My forte and my ability should be from within the pocket. Running should be your last resort. Running should not be everything that you do. That's just what it is. Josh Allen had his big rushing year in 2021 at 763 yards. But then over the last 3 seasons, he's averaged 500 yards rushing. And he understands how to protect himself. I desperately need another team, says Coach D. Mr. Esquire says, New York Giants keep Joe Shane. They'll be tanking for 2027 quarterback class. But I'd like to say that you're wrong. Hold on, I got to answer a text message. All right, answer the text message. What's up, Douglas? How you doing, my brother? OG says they better draft Mendoza, Tim. It makes sense to draft Mendoza. The Arizona Cardinals showed us the way years ago when they knew they fucked up on Josh Rosen, got assets for him, and then was able to turn around and get Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray has not worked out to their expectations, but Kyler Murray has had a couple good seasons in Arizona. So, I mean, we've said it before. We know who we need to get.
Mendoza!
That's who we need to get. What's up, my brother? How you doing, Lester? Trade Dart and draft Mendoza. I'm down for that. Chris says, clean house, clean house, clean house, draft Mendoza, draft Mendoza, draft Mendoza. Should we clean house, though? Herbologist says, Herbist and the Big Blue family checking in. What's up, Herbologist? How you doing, my friend? Let's see here. The Riddle, the Green Thumb says, I just like the idea of healthy competition. Isn't that where we went wrong on one of the areas we kept off with Danielle Jones? There's no one competing with him. I agree with competition. I would bring in a veteran quarterback. Even if you keep Jackson Dart, I would bring in a quality veteran quarterback. But you can't take a guy 1 overall and keep the guy you traded up to get last year. You got to get rid of him. And it has nothing to do with competition. Even if you take Mendoza, you still bring in a veteran quarterback for to your point, competition, because competition breeds success. Competition shows you the mettle of a man, that he's got to compete against somebody else for a job and he has to earn it. That's the problem with the Giants and Brian Dable and Joe Shane, and hell, even going back to Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman. They never let people earn their jobs. It's like Abdul Carter. I want to wear 11 or 56. Okay, well, great. You didn't earn shit. I'm still upset that we unretired number 1. And what really bugs me about giving that to Malik Neighbors, an unretired number, and yes, I understand the Tom Flaherty family gave the okay with it. But it wasn't just the first number that was retired by the Giants. It was the first number retired in NFL history. And you just gave it to a kid, and he hadn't done shit. Douglas says, if the Giants keep Shane, maybe he drafts Mendoza. Shane didn't want Dart. He was reluctant. Let's hope he does something accidentally smart and draft Mendoza. No, he's never going to be accident. He's, first of all, smart in any statement for Joe Shane is an oxymoron. Mendoza is the dude who delivers my food. That's racist, Coach Dave. That's like saying Kim Woo can finally get back to his delivery route. Sorry. New York State of Mind said, who would you recommend to be the next GM? If anyone, I gave my anyone, but this is a little late in the chat because I'm 30 minutes behind. We need an established GM and coach. Here's the thing. I thought Ryan Poles was going to be I even did a whole video about Ryan Poles. I wanted Ryan Poles and Brian Flores. I thought Ryan Poles was going to be a good to great general manager. After everything that he had done, he worked under Scott Pioli's and everything that he had done in helped do in Kansas City. I mean, this is a guy that has drafted well. He brought in the likes of DeAndre Swift, DJ. He's made the trades for DJ Moore. You know, he got Roma Aduza. I can't talk today, man. Picked up Kalen Williams with that first pick. He rebuilt the defense. He took the kid out of Rutgers, the running back. He's done so many things well. His starting left tackle is an undrafted free agent. He's done so many things well. Mazzy B, what's up? Seattle's Seahawks Rams are awesome. Shula and Kubiak, head coach of the Giants. What did you like? What did you not like? Kubiak right to handcuff Jackson Dart. Excuse me, Sam Dart. Limited turnovers. Just out of curiosity with Kubiak. Just out of curiosity. I'm gonna ask a question about that. What makes you think that he's going to be a good head coach? I'm tired of people coming in here. Same with Shula. What gives us the name? What gives us we've been through this route. It doesn't fucking work. I wish it did, Massey. I wish it did, but it just doesn't fucking work for us. Let's just get a quality head coach that has a track record of, I don't know, establishing quarterbacks. He made Aaron Rodgers. He put Dak Prescott on a different level. So why not just get a quality, no nonsense head coach who's done it before? I agree. Dart is not accurate. Dart is not accurate at all. Anything beyond 8 yards, fucking forget about it. It's a crapshoot with that kid. People, well, if you count the drops, no. Drops happen in the NFL. Petro says, where did you get those charts for dart throws, Tim? They're on NYGST. A friend of mine sends them to me all the time. So if you go, I think if you just go to NextGen, you know what? Here, hold on. I'm gonna do it for you. NextGen stats. I'm gonna give you guys the dart links. Here we go. We go to charts. We go to the New York Football Giants. Watch this. I'm gonna put the link I'm gonna put the needle on the record, as we like to say. In my oh my God, I have to show this chart. Oh, you know what we got to do? We got to we have to do last week's game because this is even better. Dear fucking Lord. Dear fucking Lord. And people want to keep this guy, and people keep telling me he's something special. Yeah, he's something special too. I'm not saying he should be riding the short bus, but he is something special, this kid. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up this chart right now for you guys. Because that's just the type of guy I am. I build these things on the fly, man. This is oh my God, I didn't even look at this chart. This is last week. Oh my dear Lord. Oh dear Lord, oh dear Lord, oh dear Lord. You know it must be good if I'm consistently oh dear lording. Oh dear Lord. Let's pull up the Jackson Dart chart from last week because this is gonna be fun. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Because they fuck you when you go through the drive-thru. Okay. Are we ready for Jackson Dart's chart, passing chart from last week? Okay. I love it. I love all these little white thingies and the red thingy. Oh dear Lord, help us all. Fucking help us all. He's throwing the left side. Like, let's go his completion percentage from the left side. And I always tell people he can't throw left very well. Let's go to his completion percentage from the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 throws to the left side. Completed 2 and 1 for an interception. But don't worry, guys. That's your motherfucking quarterback. That's your quarterback of the future. Oh. I love that one still. Jackson Dart is just jump. Let me run and not protect myself. Question. Do you agree with the assessment of black quarterbacks? No, I do not agree with the assessment of black quarterbacks back then. No. Back in the 80s and 90s, there was Charlie Ward is probably one of the most intelligent quarterbacks ever to come out of college. And they basically slapped the label on him, the same thing. Scrambling quarterback, too short, can't learn an NFL offense. No. Douglas, the more Jackson toots, causes his arm, isn't strong enough to be a fart. I like that. That was a good one. Petro says, I love how they say our defense just lost us 3 games, but want to know the best defense, Tim? Offense, you score more your opponents, you win the games. The Chiefs did it, the Bills did it, the Rams did it, etc. You know what's funny about that Petro, that statement? Jackson Dart is great on the first 15 scripted plays. Then he really does nothing till like 8 minutes in the fourth quarter when it's basically garbage time. And then people are like, look at all those throws. Look at that accuracy. Like, no, he hasn't. There's a whole middle of the game. And you know what the best defense is? To your point, keeping the other offense off the field. To have sustained drives. To literally chew the clock at the end of the game. If you want to do short passes that are like runs, I'm fine with that. But you also have to keep the defense honest. And when the defense understands that you have no ability to go deep, I'm not ready to give up on Dart because he indeed is a rookie year, but if the sophomore slump is bad, I think they really have to look at next year's quarterback class. You can't keep looking at next year's quarterback class when you could be sitting on the quarterback of the future right in front of you. I need water. And I had to go across the room for water. I know you're agreeing with me. I don't know what impresses people about darts. Nothing. Be Will, nothing does. I don't understand it either. You know what impresses me? There's a great new podcast called New York Knicks Unleashed. Let me go. I was going to post the next gen. Hold on. I'm going to just put in the chat the next gen stat. Here you go. If you want to look at all Jackson Dart's throws and you want to puke and vomit, there you go. I put the link, and don't do it until you leave. Don't do it till you leave. I do like the idea. I would do that trade. I would take the 27th and 106. We talked about that. Ding, ding, ding. I have a winner. Big James. Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. You mean the dummy green? Yes, sir. Dan Wolf says, I miss when TVG would focus on horse racing and not being FanDuel. Because there's no one that can compete with the mighty FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com, number one sportsbook in America. Bet responsibly. Joe Shane is an incompetent moron. About sums it up. Force Dart to wear a Guardian cap. I don't even think forcing Dart to wear a Guardian cap would help. If you truly want me to be honest. Because there is really no science behind the Guardian cap right now. Because it's only been out for a couple of years. So there's really no prolonged science in reference to the Guardian cap. Yeah, I want McCarthy. Yes. Yes, I do. Why do people think we need to trade Dart? I just told you why. Just gave you a whole big reason. Why do people act like we need to trade Dart if we draft Mendoza? Because of the fact that you can't use the first overall pick and the 20 whatever pick on two quarterbacks and have them both on the roster. It doesn't make sense. We need an experienced coach, no more coordinators. Yeah. McCarthy made Aaron Rodgers, and he put Dak Prescott on a different level. And he had 3 consecutive seasons of 12-5. 36 wins, 36 and 15 in 3 years. I think the Giants in that same period of time won like 12 games. Why do people want another first-time head coach? Seems like we should be over that. Thank God. Dable should go to Michigan and stay there. I don't even think Dable should go to Michigan for the job. I think he should just go to Michigan and stay there. What's up, Greg? Mr. Esquire says, hey, Tim, how do you think the interview for the New York Giants head GM would go? Do they accept a candidate admitting blowing it up, including in a different quarterback direction, i.e. drafting Mendoza? Here's my problem with that. I'm going to tell you my problem right now as you're hitting the like button. I'm going to tell you my problem with that right now. It's the loyalty of the Mara families that has fucked this franchise since 2011. And I'm not talking Wellington. I'm talking John Mara. Wellington Mara got rid of Lawrence Taylor, Phil Simms, basically Carl Banks, Mark Bavaro. They basically got rid of these Joe Morris. They got rid of Super Bowl legends when they thought they were no longer a viable asset to the team. They just got rid of them. Phil Simms was the very first salary cap casualty for the New York Giants. He was the very first one. And he just came off a Pro Bowl season. They knew when it was time to move on from these people. John Mara doesn't. He's 6 years, $100+ million for Daniel Jones. Like I said, Daniel Jones robbed the Giants and didn't even use a fucking gun. He robbed the Giants blind and didn't even use a gun. Maybe he should have. Tearing at my heart when I'm with you. I'm not big at doing Friday streams. I don't really like Friday streams, but I needed some content. I like when I'm supposed to lie and not say these things, but I needed some content and I needed some shorts. So I was like, let me stream for an hour. Draft Mendoza. Tell Dart to earn his job. Best quarterback plays. I agree, but I don't like it. Todd, yes, you can just hang on. Hey, Tim Hurst for real. What's up? Off Broadway. Todd says disagree. Draft Mendoza. Keep Dart. If you want to move Dart in season, do it. But here's the problem. Here's the problem, Todd. Dart's value is probably the highest right now. If you draft Mendoza clearly beats him out and plays exceptionally well. Dart's draft value drops. If you trade him when his value is at the highest, which would be off this season, that's when you move. You can't just keep him there. You got to move on. Mm-hmm. Shane isn't smart enough or dependable, so is he going to find that? I don't see it. I agree with you 100%. What happens to David Shula after he bombed in Cincinnati? David Shula after he bombed in Cincinnati? Well, we all know David Shula bombed in Cincinnati. His career was over. His career, David Shula, I think, is selling insurance somewhere. Let's look up David Shula. Let's look that up. I don't know what David Shula did. Let's see. No, David Shula, after he flamed out in 1996, became the wide receiver coach at Dartmouth from 2018 to 2023. So he was out of coaching from 96 to 2018. David, that was such a huge fucking mistake, David Shula. Outside of dumb luck. Off Broadway, say, who was the guy from Green Bay that you thought would make a good general manager? Do I have to go back over this? And I should rephrase this. I think he's going to be a good general manager because he is a good talent. He is a good talent evaluator, and he has come up through the ranks of evaluating talent in reference to Green Bay. He's done it. He's done it in Green Bay. That's John Eric Sullivan. It's the guy with 3 names. He interviewed last year. He got to the last room. He got the last final rounds with the Titans. He also interviewed with the Jets and the Raiders. He was a scout. He started as a regional scout. He became the top scout, and now for the last since 2022, he has been the vice president of player personnel. Listen, the Green Bay Packers, just because they can't figure out how to win the playoffs, he got the team there. Green Bay drafts so well. And one of the reasons is because of John Eric Sullivan. Do we need a Dan Reeves type stopgap coach? You know what's funny? When I brought up McCarthy, I actually thought of Dan Reeves. I did. But I don't ever think Dan Reeves was really a stopgap coach. I don't think he was. I think Dan Reeves doesn't get his due for the New York Giants. I mean, I really don't. Yeah, he was 31-33. He went 11-5, 9-7, 5, and 11-6-10. And he lost to the San Francisco 49ers in that divisional game the first year. And we all know what happened in that divisional game. We don't want to talk about that. I think Dan Reeves was a good coach. And I think that honestly, like I said, because you got to remember, Phil Simms was 93. That was Phil's last year. And then they moved on. And people forget Dave Brown had a winning record in 94. He did get benched, but he had a winning record in 94. And the Giants finished 9-7. It's just you had the Dave Brown era from 95 to 96. I mean, they didn't have a quarterback. And then he goes on to Atlanta, and the second season goes 14-2 and loses, of course, to the Broncos. But I never thought he was a stopgap guy. I think he was the right guy for the Giants at that time. Make Dart a running back or whatever runs the ball. I don't know football at all that well. That was a good one. I like a head coach who will bench a guy if he's not showing a pattern up for late, not paying attention. I think Mike McCarthy would do that. Unless you're a Lawrence Taylor type. I mean, when we had Carl Banks on the first time, yeah, I can say the first time because he's been on twice. We had Carl Banks on the first time. He told so many great LT stories. And it's like, you're not going to bench LT because even when he's not listening, evidently he's listening. Oh, I love it. I love Bad Dog. We got to give one Bad Dog one more.
Stupid giant Twitter post.
He writes, Giant fans talking about drafting Mendoza or Jermaine Love have to be trolling New York Football Giants. Yeah, this is the same motherfucker. Like we said, who sucked at the cock at Daniel Jones for 6 years and told us that Jalen Hurts wasn't any good. And I'm supposed to take your... Why don't I just go over to Chris the Entertainer and take his opinion? Because evidently some motherfuckers don't understand quarterbacks. He's the perfect quarterback for Robinson. All passes under 10 yards. Leave Dart alone, Bad Dog. Listen, I love Bad Dog. I do, but he's a fan. He is truly a fan, and he does it like everyone else with likes, the clicks, the bleeps, and the boops. 100%. I'm the only fucking moron that has sponsors. Like, you know, I don't want to brag, but, you know, I get like Mint Mobile and FanDuel and with SMHU and all these other people. And these people, I've never seen any sponsors on these people's channels. And I love it because of the fact that I don't troll people. I tell you like it is. It is utterly amazing to me that I check the downloads every day for New York Giants Straight Talk on the podcast. We've only been on Believe and podcasting, I think, since May. I think April or May, I don't remember. But we have almost 1 million downloads. That's fucking insane. That's insanity at its finest. 1 million downloads. I'm like, there must be something broken in the analytics in the podcast format because that's just fucking insane. What if the Raiders don't want dirt? Then what? Cleveland Browns. Ha ha ha. Todd says, by the way, if you give Robinson $50 million, I quit. Please let him. Well, oh my dear Lord, if you give Wan'Dale Robinson, I keep telling people this. He's got 800 yards. He's got 800 yards. Okay. He's got 302 games and 511 games. So he's got 302, 511. So I guess the other 11 games don't count. We don't sit there and look at the other 11 games and say, hey, you know what? We don't care that he doesn't we don't care that he doesn't what you call it. We don't care that he doesn't, he doesn't get yards outside of playing against Dallas. What's up, Oz? Jackson Dart is hero quarterback. He wants to be down in the fourth so he can be the hero and make a comeback. Hero ball just gets you killed. And I know you know that, Mr. Oz. Hero ball just gets you killed. And I've been saying this since the start of the season. I said this in training camp. I said this in the preseason. And I love how all the pundits are coming around going, getting 1 yard in the first quarter, 6 minutes in, is not that 1 yard you need to win the Super Bowl. And that's what Jackson Dart does. That's why he's a fucking moron. That's what he does. He thinks every play he's winning the Super Bowl. On 4th and 2, getting that extra 2 yards by sticking your head into the pile and putting yourself in that blue fucking 10 again is not 4th and 2 from it's not 4th and 2 from the 2 down by 6 to tie or win the Super Bowl. No. It's the first fucking quarter. Slide. It's all right. Because your career is not going to be that long. If your team wins 2, everyone on the team except needs to be evaluated. No expectations. That's the other thing. He's won 2 games. I keep hearing how great he is. He's so great. And I love, well, they didn't lose because of Jackson Dart. Yeah, they did. I can think of some fumbles, and I can think of some interceptions, and I can think of some bad plays. I love it because the Charger game, they didn't win that because Jackson Dart, because he threw for 111 yards and 60 of them came on the first drive. Let's do the effeminate dances in the end zone, though. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, dear fucking Lord. Kareem, what's up, my brother? You can. You just don't want to. Frank, what's up, Frank? The sounds of. What about all aboard the Malik Willis train? You're supposed to be truth with your opinion on Dart. Greetings. Oh, you want. Okay. Here you go, Frankie. Matt LaFleur last year. Malik Willis 4-0. Matt LaFleur says, we don't make the playoffs without Malik Willis. The coaching staff and a large number of players on the Green Bay Packers said, and I quote, we're going to miss Malik because he's going to be a starting quarterback somewhere in 2026. I've said from day one, Frankie, from Malik Willis, and like I said, Frank, and I love you, brother, but if you're going to quote me, fucking quote me right. Malik Willis needed to sit an entire year. Said that from day one. He should not see the field in year one. And probably I said he would be an exceptional quarterback by year 4 or 5. That's exactly what I said, Frankie. So now you have NFL scouts, players, and everyone else saying that Packers don't do what they did last year without Malik Willis when Jordan Love went down, and that he is going to be a starting quarterback somewhere in 2026. That's why they're not going to have the ability to re-sign him. Quote me fucking right, because I ain't dealing with this fucking shit no more with people. I may love you, but if you say something stupid, I'm going to have to let you know it, because I'm leaving in February, so I don't fucking care anymore. When are we going back to the Shannon Rose? They invited us back, but it's just so much of a trek. I always love it because people are like, don't you want to make money? No, if I wanted to make money on YouTube, I would tell you how great everything is. I would have thrown shit at you all day long and said, hey, oh, Zach Attack, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. Zach Attack says a quality coach would want Mendoza. You're 100% right, Zach. And Mike McCarthy, to me, if you draft Mendoza, is the guy. He made help make Aaron Rodgers. He helped put Dak Prescott on a different level. Why would we want a guy that cultivated 2 quarterbacks, the 2 places that he went? Well, that's just crazy talk. Broadway says, I'm all for the talent evaluating GM that can actually evaluate talent other than this schmuck Joe Shane. That's the thing. A talent evaluator is what this team needs. This is what this team needs. And John Eric Sullivan started as a scout. He literally started as a scout, a regional scout. Listen, regional scouts suck. He was a Central Plains regional scout, then became a Southeast regional scout, then became director of scouting from 2016. Being a scout is one of the worst jobs. I thought I had a bad job being the XOS digital guy. I thought I had a bad job. But being a scout is one of the worst jobs that you can fucking have. And you go back to 19. You want to know how many guys are still in? You know what kills me? If you look at the entire roster in 2025 is in the NFL. The entire roster outside of Michael Pratt, who was the quarterback from Tulane, the Green Bay Packers, is still in the NFL. 2023, they had numerous picks. Only 3 guys aren't in the NFL. Their 2022 draft, there's only 2 guys, and they had multiple 7th-round picks. They only have 2 guys that aren't in the NFL. You go back to 2021, there's only 3 guys that aren't in the NFL. You go back to 2020, they're not guys that aren't in the NFL. 3. This is a guy that since he took over has drafted Love, A.J. Dillon, your buddy John Runyon, Rashawn Gary, Eric Stokes, Josh Myers, Isaiah McDuffie, Rasheed Walker, Jonathan Ford, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker, who I love, who the Giants should have went after. Their entire draft class is on the 2025 roster. So why wouldn't we want a guy that could bring in talent? I'm going to get to Dr. Hire Mike McCarthy. I was going to get to Dr. I love it. Willis is trash. Dr. Intel. I'm going to give you a little intel. And Dartmouth is a good quarterback. He just needs to learn. He needs to learn to fuck off like you because you're out of here.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I am tired of stupidity. February is my last fucking show. February 12th. And just for Dr. Intel, when I don't block people. I just ban you. I ban you for being fucking stupid. And Dr. Intel, the intel on you is, like I've said to the other guy, you're a fucking moron. Please unsubscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you can unsubscribe. I think that probably helps my thing. James Stein says Marrow will do the Jones thing with Dart. We are so screwed. I agree. I'm all for Italian value with GM. Well, we got that one. I got that one. New York state of mind. I don't know anything about Mendoza. Mendoza has only completed 75% of his passes. Arm strength is more than NFL ready. He can literally, I love it because Colin Cowherd came out and said it, and I've been saying it for a while now. Go just watch. You don't need to really scout Mendoza. He runs a pro-style offense in Indiana. Anything that you want to see in regards to him making NFL throws, go watch his Indiana tape because he's running a pro-style offense in Indiana. Plain and simple. That's how easy it is to scout this fucking kid. Literally, that's how easy it is to scout this kid. He became, if you take a look at what he did at Cal, he became more of a quarterback because the Cal system is not what I would refer to as an NFL style offense. He redshirted his first year at Cal. His last year, he completed 68% of his passes for 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And he still ran the ball 87 times for 105 yards. He completed 71% of his passes, 33 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He is a guy that gets it. He transferred to Indiana and is putting them in contention for a national championship. Bad dog. We have a quarterback that's average 158 yards a game. I love it because with Daniel Jones, I kept saying to him, you got a quarterback that big season was 3,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. Well, look at all the rushing yards. Great. I don't need a running quarterback because they don't last in the NFL. I need a guy that can throw the ball from the pocket. And like I said, everyone that talks about Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, great. As soon as he actually started playing competition, the fumbles returned. The interceptions returned. As soon as they shut down Jonathan Taylor and put everything on the back of Daniel Jones, the bad interceptions to lose games came back. Mike McCarthy would be the perfect coach for the Giants. He would bring the Giants back to winning football. I would sign up for that. Here's my thing with McCarthy. I'm not sitting there telling you he's going to be the long-term solution for Giant football. Someone brought up Dan Reeves as a stopgap. I don't think Dan Reeves was a stopgap coach, but I think McCarthy, if you are building an organization, I think McCarthy's the guy. I think if you're going to build a young quarterback, I think Mike McCarthy's the guy. Because like I said, this is a guy that's only 62. This is a guy that coached the Packers for 12 seasons, helped make Aaron Rodgers. This is a guy that took over for Mike Sherman, who went 4-12 back in 2005. This is a guy that turned around the franchise. This is a guy that had an understanding in 2007 where they went 8-1. And of course, they lost to the Giants in that overtime game. And it wasn't snowing, but I like to pretend it was snowing. This is a guy that has an understanding on how to build a team. This is a guy that won 36 games in 3 years for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, he had Aaron Rodgers in his prime and only won once. Yeah, 100%. And you had other coaches that had Brett Favre in their prime and only won one time. Jets had Joe Namath in their prime and only won once. There are plenty. The annals of the NFL history are littered with quarterbacks who've only won the big game once or didn't win it at all. 100%. Only one team a year wins a Super Bowl. I like Dart, but man, he's so reckless. If there's a genuine pocket passer in the draft, take him. We shall see. The dude's right there. The dude's right there. Dude, he's a rook. Yes, he is. And I'm going to say the same thing I said about Daniel Jones after his rookie season. There are so many things wrong, I don't even know where to start. And when I did start and tell everyone the same things over and over again, and 7 years, 8, 9 years later, Daniel Jones hasn't improved on any of those things, there's a problem. Was it Mike or was it Rodgers that made the Packers successful? Was it Mike? You mean? Well, you got to remember, he also won with an aging Brett Favre. This is Aaron. I mean, this guy, McCarthy is not a guy that just doesn't get it. You know, 11-5, 10-6, 15-1, 11-5, 8-7-1, 12-4, 10-6, 10-6. He won 125 games in his 12 years. He won 50 games in 5 years in Dallas. He won the NFC East twice in 3 years. He went 36-15 from 2021 to 2023. The collapse in 2024 was not his fault. It was injuries. This is a guy that still has been to the big dance. He lost in the NFC Championship game 3 times in Green Bay. He lost the NFC Championship game. How many times did Peyton Manning lose in the AFC Championship game before he won a Super Bowl? How many years? Just asking for a friend. Dart needed to sit. Dart. This is the thing that just drives me. This is why I'm so fucking glad I'm leaving in February. This is the shit that drives me fucking crazy. You look at Jackson Dart, and you would think this kid's putting up 300 yards a game. You would look at this kid, and you would think I've seen this game. He lost to the fucking Commanders. He lost to Spencer Rattler. The most he threw was 283 and a loss to the Broncos, and he only completed 45% of his passes. In 10 games, he's thrown for 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And completed barely 62% of his passes. His big claim to fame against the Chargers was, against that vaunted defense, was 111 yards. When it counted against the Patriots, he threw for 139. When he needed to come up big against the Commanders, he throws an interception. He can't stay on the fucking field. Tim's not going anywhere. Joe Shane's getting fired. No, even if Joe Shane's fired, I think I quit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Knicks Unleashed has been a lot of fun. If you don't know, there's this great new podcast, and I think right now only 133 people subscribe to it. It's called Knicks Unleashed. Talks all about the New York fucking Knicks. It's a great freaking podcast. There's another podcast called Knicks Unleashed too, but they're They're stealing people are getting confused, but I'm going to put it in the chat. Go listen, go subscribe. It's been a lot of fun doing the Knicks stuff. I was thinking about going to the Knicks game today, but we got bad weather coming in. So I got to wait and see what happens. Let's see here. Dable was going to sit Dart, but Russ is so cooked, he made the move to appease the fans. That's exactly what he did. McCarthy, probably our best option. Real talk. Yes. Unless you are going to go, Mr. Perry, the route of another assistant, Mike McCarthy makes sense. He really does. Gone are the days of rookie quarterbacks sitting for a year, big and long, and develop. Owners and GMs are always trying to win on the rookie contract. You're right. You're 100% right on that. You're 100% right. Eric Off-Broadway says, John Eric Sullivan, I need to read up on him. Comes from a place of stability in the front office. Can't bring him in unless he becomes president of football operations and he hires a GM and Scott. No. No. I am still down for the idea if the Giants went that route. I am still down for a president of football operations, a general manager, and then the head coach. I am still down for that philosophy. But this guy started as a regional scout. And if you take a look at the draft record since 2019 with this guy, with the Packers, it's fucking phenomenal. Like I said, every guy on the 2025 team and draft is on the team. Only one guy from 2024 is not in the NFL. And it goes on for this so all the way down to 19. So I want him. I want him running the fucking scouting department. I know he probably won't do it, but I want him running the fucking scouting department. Make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like, because we're only at 27 likes. There's 58 people watching here. We should be at 27 likes, 51 people. Like to carry the 3. There should be 497 likes. We should draft the Georgia defender and linebackers. I'm down for that, but you need a quarterback. I love Matt Jennings. Man, you gotta be living on a rock if you think Dart is a mid quarterback. Dart is a baller. You obviously never played anything but left. Hey, fuckhead. Matt fuckhead Jennings. I played D3. I played D1. I was a graduate assistant. I spent 4.5 seasons in the NFL and another 4 seasons in the Arena Football League. So my football intelligence compared to your little pussy vagina intelligence about anything is well above your fucking mindset. So why don't you sack up your ovaries, go listen to Chode Sports, because you are another fucking moron. And please, if you're going to quote me, you are a fucking moron. Damn, I feel good. I'm also back in the gym, so that's not helping the testosterone. I've always had a lot of testosterone. Always had a lot of testosterone. That's why I was such a great bouncer. Because I still love the fact that when you do these types of things, that you to this day, it cracks me up that Mike Lee, great follower of the channel, Mike Lee, a guy that's been a great supporter of the channel since day one. I email him all the time. He emails me all the time. I haven't seen him in a while. He's probably on a cruise or doing something. But Mike Lee is a guy that we were talking one day on the stream. And I was talking about when I was a bouncer on South Street in Philadelphia. And he was like, did you work at Who's on Third? I said, yeah. He goes, were you the big guy and always wearing the black t-shirt and the Doc Martens? I said, yeah. It's like, and he goes, you threw me out. It's like you threw me out. And I don't remember it because he was like, I was with these 2 girls and they were fighting in the bar. And he goes, the next thing I know, you come over and you're holding one. You got one around the waist and you got the other one and they're still fighting and you're pushing them out. And he looked at me and he goes, he looked at me and he was like, he's like, do you need me? I told me, he goes, you look at me and said, do you need me to carry you out? And he's like, nope. And then he went, he went out, and I was like, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. I mean, I don't remember him because of the fact that I threw a lot of people out, especially back in the, especially late 90s, early 2000s. You're always throwing fucking people out of the bar. But I just thought it was amazing that he's like, I know you. It was like, you threw me out of the bar. I didn't have to apologize for throwing him out of the bar either. But Touchy, no, I just don't deal with shit no more, ask me. You know that, brother. Willis has won more games in Dart since playing. Yes, Willis has, in 2 years, Malik Willis has won more games than Jackson Dart. Why February 12th finally getting your sex change? No, it's February 12th because it's a good day because it's after the Super Bowl and that's when my contract expires. So I thought February 12th is a good day. So, and if I wanted a sex change operation, Frankie, I would have called you up and see where you got yours. Will ICE allow Mendoza to play in New York? Oh, that's kind of funny. It's a little funny. Yes, because he's a Cuban. All quarterbacks need to develop. Coaching and talent needs each other to strive. Dart will flame out fast, just as Danielle Jones did. Hey, LifeSpeed. That's my go-to thing. You are hold on. Let me help you again, LifeSpeed. Let's put it this way, LifeSpeed. You're putting time out again because you're a fucking moron. Off Broadway, and you don't have to put the little star there, fucking moron. You could write fucking moron in the chat. It's okay. I don't delete things. I'm not like other people. I don't delete things. I can't put him in timeout. He left. No more coordinators. Thank you, Broadway. Free Mike McCarthy to New York Giants. Silent. I agree. Asked me, said Timmy is determined to ban his entire audience before he shuts down the channel slashing. But no, baby, I'm going fucking Sonic. I'm going explosion. I'm going weapons of mass destruction. No more, like I said, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I love it. I said that the other day and someone went to me, when were you nice? I'm like, I'm always nice, you motherfucker. I love that's your go-to thing saying that, man. Oh, dear Lord. Hey, life at full speed. Just don't go away, man. Just go away. Yeah, I'm burning this shit down. I'm trying to lose subscribers. I tried to lose subscribers and I was doing a great job at doing it. And I don't know what the fuck happened. I started gaining subscribers again. So I just keep banning people now. I mean, I don't ban, I'll put you in timeout. But I don't understand. Titans are interested in McCarthy. Yes, I saw that too. Hire Bill Belichick's girlfriend as a new head coach. I'd say you're coming around. What's up, my brother? Big L. Doing it, L. You're coming around to McCarthy. I think you like start. Then I don't like Mike McCarthy anymore. Good day, sir. Off Broadway, you get it. I love it because you got people that are new to the show. And I love the regulars because the regulars just fucking get it. I've told this story I've told these stories a million times before. Back when we were men. Back when men didn't have testicles and ovaries, we were men. Because I think there's a lot of estrogen in today's man, excluding all the people in this chat. But back when we were men, you could insult somebody, you could beat somebody up, and then you can go out and have a drink 5 minutes later. I've told the story that my friend Dave and I got into a physical altercation in his house. I don't remember what it was about. This was in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't remember what it was about, but we got into a physical altercation. And he had this wall that separated, it was a wall he built that separated the foyer from the one living room where he had the TV. And I threw him through that wall. I'm not talking drag out this bare knuckle fighting, throwing people through fucking walls. And we're and after we're done, he's laying on the floor. I'm propped up at the couch. We're both drinking Miller Genuine Drafts. His girlfriend comes home and goes, what the fuck happened here? And we were both just laughing, both bloody, both laughing. And she's like, well, you guys all right? I said, yeah, we're fine. And I look at him and go, yeah, you want to go out now? You want to head to the club? And his girlfriend was like, you just beat the shit out of each other. Now you're going out drinking. I said, yeah, because it's over. We're done. We got it out of our system. We're done. That's what people that follow this channel who have vaginas and penises, very small penises, come onto the show. They don't get it. I may ban you and throw you out, but how many times have I banned people that I like? Not ban. I put people in timeout that I like, and now they're like friends of the show. So sack up your fucking ovaries. Don't stay stupid shit, and you can come on. New York State of Mind says I would definitely come down to who else would be McCarthy's staff, OC, and DC. Oh, I don't know about that yet. Now we're getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves. Big L says McCarthy's best asset is he can hire a true NFL staff and not just about egos. I agree with that. McCarthy beat the NFC East. He's exactly what we need. Yes, he's beat the NFC East. He won the division twice in 3 years. He won 36 games in 3 years. He lost 15. He built a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers and put Dak Prescott on a different level. Yeah, we wouldn't want that fucking guy. Coaching cannot be downplayed for talent. If it takes talent and coaching to thrive, it's a team effort. I agree. Yes, but Daniel Jones actually threw the ball down the field. Everything that I could say bad about Daniel Jones his rookie season, he actually threw the ball deep. I don't know what happened to Daniel Jones's deep ball accuracy after year one. I really don't. But he literally did throw the ball deep. We've showed the charts. Jackson Dart William can't do it. Here's his most recent game. As soon as we go from -3 to 10 yards, look what the fuck happens. And he still can't throw left deep at all. And then you say, well, that's only one chart. There's another chart. As soon as he goes beyond 10 yards, he goes down to like 20% accuracy. You say that's not enough. Oh, how about another game? Wait, wrong chart. How about another game? There we go. Everything between -2 and 9 yards. Anything past that, he completed 1 of 6. He threw, and we've showed it a million times before, in the air, he threw your star wide receiver into an injury. He threw the ball outside of Cam Scatterboo when he should have thrown it on the inside, which also caused another injury. But if you guys want to keep having guys that just keep down, then hey, it's all good by me. Oh, wait, there's a Knicks Unleashed channel? I didn't know that. Make sure you go there. Make sure you subscribe. Knicks Unleashed. We're not doing terrible. We had, 216 views, 524, 88, 292, 193, and we only have 16 views. But that's only a couple hours ago. We're building the channel. We have 134 subscribers, so make sure you go subscribe to the channel. If you love the Knicks, it's a good channel. We have a lot of fun, and it's nice to talk about a winning organization that gets it. Kevin, where the fuck you been? I miss you, Kevin, brother. Peace, Tim. Hope all is well. Well, I got a lot of idiots in the chat today, but you will bounce it out, Kevin. Evan says Joe Shane would hire Lou if he's still the J. He would. He would. Yeah. Nothing against Lou. I just don't see it. Kareem says, I'm having whichever quarterback is going to give us a chance to win. I could care less what the name is on the back of the jersey. I have to agree, but I have to disagree. Because the name back on the back of the jersey, if it's Dart or Mendoza, here's my thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as people are hitting the like button. I'm gonna say this to you guys because I love you. My problem with is this, and this is what everyone's issue is. What happens if you trade Dalton? He becomes the star and Mendoza flames out. What happens in reverse? What happens if you trade the number 1 all pick? Jackson Dart flames out in 2 years. You send him to the Jets, let's say. He becomes the stalwart franchise quarterback the Jets have been searching for since Joe Namath. And the picks that you get don't pan out. What happens then? And you didn't take the shot. Math, baby. You know we love math because math is math. Off-Broadway, sorrow and depression sets in, thinking that America can totally change up the FO and still do it what's right. but we'll go with what he knows, and it's the same results. James Williams has hit that like button. Thank you. He's Mr. Perry's just having a good time. Evan says the guy was probably part of the Moore family. Yeah, you're right. Yes, it's Dr. Vinny Button Bumbots. Frankie, you're usually a little bit more. You're usually a little bit more on the ball today. I think you're a little off the ball today. Lots of estrogen in under 35-year-old male population, emotionally thin-skinned and lead their feelings instead of the facts. No facts, only feelings, because that's what the generation is now. Because of this stupid thing right here. I'm gonna watch this. I always give life advice. Here's my life advice: put the motherfucking phone down. Except if you're watching my live stream, then make sure you have the phone up and make sure you go to mightyfanduel.com, fanduel.com, number one sportsbook in America. Bet responsibly. Put the phone fucking down. Enjoy what's around you. I went to a concert last night in Philadelphia. Christmas concert. CeCe Winan. She's a Christian singer. And yes, me going to that concert, it was a very bad Where's Waldo. Because if anyone knows who CeCe Winan is, you know her demographic. I don't fit the demographic, but I always feel comfortable no matter where I go. And I love it because you see all these people with their phones up. All these people with their phones up recording what's going on. And this is shit you're never going to watch again. And my wife, who's a big fan of hers, her favorite song comes on and she couldn't get her phone to work. And I said, you know what? That's great. Enjoy what you're seeing in front of you. Enjoy that moment, because the moment's what you're going to remember, not the video you're never going to watch again. So put the fucking phones down. Go out. Have some fun. Live life. Mr. Taz, what's up? That's just how male friendships work. If you aren't willing to swing, you are just laughed afterwards. Are you really friends? Yeah. That's it. I've had plenty of arguments with people I love that are friends. But it doesn't mean I don't like you anymore. I've said it once before. I got into another fight with this guy named Chuck. And it was in the street. It was in the street of Trenton, outside of a bar. And I threw a garbage can at him. And literally, as soon as the fight was over, we both went back into the bar. Because the fight was over. You're like, you want to play air hockey and drink? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, all right, let's go. And I love it because his girlfriend at the time, again, another one was like, you were just beating the shit out of each other. Now you're going to have a drink. I said, yeah, because it's over. We're still friends. McCarthy likes Dart. Don't shoot the messenger. No, I'm not going to shoot the messenger. Petra says, so many fans are crying about explosive plays from Dart. When DJ at the end of his tenure, Dart is the same way. You're right. Dart can probably throw a deep ball. Who actually gets the ball is a completely different matter. Hey-oh. Tim, the poor kid hasn't had I called Daniel Jones after 12 games. Calling it now. And what really cracks me up, and he's actually coming on the show, and I'm very excited about this. I'm not going to talk about it because he's going to come on the show first week in February. He is a former NFL scout for the last 35 years. He is no longer employed by the NFL. He is the same guy that told us that the Giants, and we did videos on this, so that's what I love about the receipts and deleted tweets. Well, we don't delete anything. He's the same guy that told me that the Giants would not pass on Andrew Thomas. He's the same guy that told me that Matt Rule was staying in Carolina. He's the same guy that told us that the Giants were going to sign Blake Martinez and Adoree Jackson. He told us so many things that came to fruition. He's actually coming on the show. And he's coming on the show, and I'm not gonna say anything yet because, like I said, I want to make sure that he has till the end of this is his last year in the NFL, so he has till the end of the season. So we're looking on doing a live stream on Tuesday, February 10th. It's gonna be the evening of Tuesday, February 10th. So make sure that you that you stay tuned for that. 'Cause I'm actually very excited about that. James says, I have listened to a lot of content creators. You told it like it is, never sugarcoated anything. That is why you will be missed. The only other guys that tell the truth is Pat from the Daily News talking ball. Yeah. Oh, Pat Leonard. Cream says, I want to do some research on Mendoza. I haven't had a chance to watch any of some. Go watch and come back. Since Carl Banks came in the show, he's become Mr. Positive. Everyone is great. Everything is going to be great. Most of the fans are dumb, are dumb football, are dumb as football. Carl Banks has been on the show twice. Carl Banks came back. How crazy is that? Fucking Carl Banks came back to the show. And I love it because I think it's actually the opposite. I think Carl Banks, since he came on the first time, I think we broke his brain because now he just speaks the truth. I told Carl Banks at the end of his second appearance. I told him he needs to get off Twitter. He needs to get off X because he's always on X and he interacts. I think he interacts. And I think it's great that he does this, but he interacts in my mind way too much with fans because he's never gonna win those arguments. And I should thank, because this has been I never have guests on, and some of these people came from Believe. Some of these other people I reached into my own pocket from people that I know. But this was a great year for guests. We've had Carl Banks on, of course, Amon Green, Packers legend. We had Evan Giddings, who's on the radio in the radio in San Francisco. He does the radio broadcast for the 49ers and the Golden State Warriors. We've had on Matt Sims a couple times. We've had John Valerio, Jumpin' Joe Valerio. Joe Valerio was a great guest. If you haven't watched that one, go watch that. We had the mighty Howard Eskin on. We had Anthony Armstrong on, former of the Raiders. We've had Brom Weinstein on. It's been great. We've had Judy Batista on as well. It's been great this year in reference to bringing some people that I know on. And really just having that NFL conversation with these people, I think has been fantastic. I'm going to have a couple more. I'm going into the archives. I'm going to pull out a couple more guests as well to bring on the show. We had Ro Parrish on as well, but we only had Ro Parrish on with on the podcast. Ro Parrish is actually, he does a Dallas Cowboys show, but he was the DJ for the NBA, and he was also the DJ for the Dallas Mavericks, and he works for NBA TV and a lot of other places. So he was another great guest that we had. I love Ro. I think I shocked him the first moment that he came on. I told him I was going to, when I was talking to him, I was talking about coming on. He's like, you just got to take it easy on me. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm not going to do anything. And my first question to him wasn't even a giant question. First question to Ro Parrish came out to be, and I love it because I know he knows Bruno Mars. So I asked him, I said, could you just tell me why Bruno Mars is not just a Morris Day ripoff? And that was literally the first question we had the Ro Parrish. And as the gentleman that he is, he answered the question, but he didn't really answer the question. But it was fantastic. So we're going to have a couple more guests before we head out. I got a couple more people in line that I'm thinking about bringing on, that I'm going to ask to come on. So I don't like asking people I know to come on, only because of the fact that, I don't know. I feel weird asking people to come on to interview them, but I think we are going to have a couple more people back on again. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm actually trying to find because it was a great interview, and why I did not put the Ro Parrish interview on YouTube, I don't remember. I don't remember why I didn't do that. And I have to find it because it was such a great interview. And I'm trying. Oh, I also forgot Jerry Oslowski. How did I forget Big Jerry? Former NFL lineman for 10 years, came on the show as well. He talked all about Evan Neal. He talked all about Abdul Carter. If you haven't seen that one, go watch that one as well. I'm trying to find the Ro Parrish interview because the Ro Parrish interview was was actually, like I said, if you enjoy music and you enjoy football and you enjoy Dallas Cowboy talk, it was a great show. But I can't seem to find the Roe Parrish interview. I'm gonna actually literally have to find the interview, because I know I have it somewhere, and I'm just gonna have to put it up, because I think it's great content. And I think that if you missed it and I can't find where it is, I'm trying to find the rebroadcast of it here. Everyone just relax a minute. So it would have been after Jerry Oslowski. That's where it would have been. Where is Jerry Oslowski's interview? Oh, it's the professionalism. I really have to go to the gym. I got to go work out. I'm going to work out before we lose power. Because I know we're going to lose power. Because my neighborhood, like I said, anytime you get a 10-mile-an-hour wind, okay, there's a Jerry Oslowski interview. So it's got to be. I love some of these interviews because we talk about the pirate chest. There's Anthony Armstrong. There is Howard Eskin. There is Matt, the mighty Matt Sims. I might have Matt Sims on. Oh, here we go. The Roe Parrish interview. I found it. I'm going to put this. I don't want to download it, motherfucker. I want to share the episode. Copy the link. Here we go. I'm going to share the Roe Parrish. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to share the Roe Parrish interview right here. Here you go. Go listen to here you go. There's the Apple podcast. Go listen to the Roe Parrish interview. Like I said, and it was just such a positive interview. It was just, Roe Parrish is such a positive guy, and just such, I mean, it's just an interview to watch. Unless someone got something to say, I think I'm going to head out. I love Asby. Since Carl Banks came on your show, he's been Mr. Positivity. Everyone is great. Everything is going to be great. Most of the fans are football dumb. Oh man, I love Carl Banks. I'm thinking I'm going to try to have Carl on one more time with Carl Banks. I do think I'm going to try that. I'm going to ask him one more time before we leave in February. But I'm not going to ask him now because, we didn't. We just had him on. Share episode. How do you share an episode? How do you share an episode? Go to show. Mark is played. Message. Let's put it in the message. What happens if we put the episode in the message? What happens if I do this? What happens if I do this? Copy. Ooh, let's see if we can do this. And go here and do this. I can't wait to go sit in my sauna. I'm going to sit in my sauna. Very excited about that. I love when new sponsors are awesome. And having a company copy. Oh, you have to convert it to a text link. Oh, okay. Well, that's not going to fucking work. There it is right there. Just do what you got to do to get on. Anyone else got anything else to say? It's technical. Listen. I am a very technical person. And I love your thumbnail. I love your profile picture. I really do, because I love that movie. I'm a very technical person. I really am. But when it comes to like and I laugh though, because my last career was in internet marketing, which cracks me up that I can't figure out half the time how to make the fucking internet work. So, all right. If no one's got anything intelligent to say, because I know I don't have anything intelligent to say. I know I'm done. I know I'm done with that. We're going to head out. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go work out. Then I'm going to go sit in my sauna. I'm watching Jalen Brunson again. Man, I love Ariel Acapulco. I really do. I love him because of the fact that I've said this before. He's like Ken the Animal Bannister. He's like Buck Williams. I forgot, but James Williams had to remind me that Buck Williams was on the team. But he was like Buck Williams. It's like, just go out there and get a foul. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm just seeing what the weather's like here. Good night, Tim. Good night, my brother. Hope everything's well. If you're closing out the stream, I am closing out the stream. Sometimes we got 54 people still watching. Sometimes I just like to see how many people we have. I mean, like the last time with James, we still had 100+ people watching when we spent an hour and 20 minutes talking about basketball, which I thought was crazy. Off Broadway. Let me just check the New York Post real quick. Right, we're out of here. Peace, love, and hair grease. Archie Manning taking pay cut after his first preseason, first Texas. I love these headlines now. Archie Manning taking pay cut after his first Texas season didn't go as planned. Why is he taking a pay cut? He's in college. Oh, that episode went off the rails, but it was great, man. It was great, Big Worm. You know it. I know it. All right, we're out of here, guys. Hit the like button. Nick's Unleashed. Roe Parish. I got nothing else. We'll stream on Monday. I'm not going to do a Sunday stream. We'll stream on Monday after the loss. Just calling it now. I'm just literally I could do Sunday stream right now, but I'm not going to. I mean Monday stream right now. So I could do Monday stream right now. Well, I'm going to stream Monday after the loss, and make sure you stay tuned for that because there's probably going to be a rant. Blah blah blah. FanDuel, #1 sportsbook, Believe Network, all that fun stuff. You know the rest, guys. Peace, love, and hair grease. And I'm out of here.